Hey everyone, it's time for this week's exciting reading adventure. Ventures, plural. This is one of two videos I'm making today. Um, we go diving into my last Monday to Thursday um, pile. As you see, the dining room table studios is still under rent, and I am working on my teas from the extra room that I have. Um, I will be doing another video on the first 8 free comic book day editions that came out yesterday. So keep on the watch for that. I'm tying that to my blog. So trying to make it shorty because I'm expecting my old buddy from Earth 2 Comics, Carl, to drop off some more free comic book day books that I'm both going to take to my office, and I'm doing my own office celebration. And I was missing one book. I was missing 10 copies of that Superman book you saw on top of there, and I need to bring 10 copies there. And there's 3 books in the pile that he didn't receive yet, and he got them, and so he's going to deliver them to me. So I cut this video short, and you'll know why. So anyway, I got a bunch of old Spider-Man comic books I bought from last year's San Diego Comic-Con. I'm finally getting around to reading. And this particular one, this is Amazing Spider-Man 29. It's one of the Ditko ones. I had this book when I was in New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey, and I probably bought it for maybe $20-25 back then. Real pristine copy too. And fortunately, when I moved to California, the coast was clear for some ruffians to come in and break into my mom's basement and steal all my pricey comics. So, but I got this one from Red Hood Comics rather. Sorry. It's a store in Las Vegas. But I didn't buy it there. I bought it at Comic-Con last year, and they opened a brand new store out in Las Vegas, and I heard it's a really well received and well reviewed location. I don't know if I should be opening this book up or not, but maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, but let's give it a try. You gotta be really careful because they really tape these things up like real high valued premium Scotch tape on here, so I got to remove this thing really carefully. So excuse me while I tear into it here. So here we go. Trying to get as much light as I can. It's really cloudy day outside. I'm not getting much light, a good light source in here. So here we have number 29, entitled Never Step on a Scorpion. And it's written, of course, by the undeniable talent of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. This is only one of 3 Ditko books I own. I have issues 30, and I have issue 36, I believe. Back home, I had issue 33 through 35 at one point. Those got stolen too. Anyway, the synopsis for Never Step on a Scorpion. Let me open this one page here. Look at that. And it's a damn good copy too. I mean, it's just still some whiteness to the pages. It's value. I think I have it at a at 8.5, and I've paid $4.75 for it, so I've already made bank on this book. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy, so in synopsis, while Peter Parker is out shopping for new clothes, Scorpion has his costume returned to him in prison. He escapes, swearing revenge on Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson. Back at the Daily Bugle, Peter is talking to Betty Brant, and Ned Leeds, who just returned back from Europe for good. A police officer comes in and tells Jameson that an extra security detail has been assigned to protect him from the Scorpion. Spider-Man decides to swing around town to attract Scorpion's attention, but instead is giving Scorpion plenty of time to attack Jameson. He realizes this possibility and decides to head to the Daily Bugle just in case. When he gets there, Scorpion has already started to run after Jameson. Oh, look at those classic books. I wish I had that one. Wish I had all of them, actually. Scorpion is also one of my favorite villains. He's immortalized the 1967 animated show, and I think this show adapted some elements from this particular issue. As the two fight on the rooftops, oh wait a minute, he realizes this possibility and decides to head to the Daily Bugle just in case. When he gets there, Scorpion's already started to run after Jameson. As Spider-Man and Scorpion trade blows, Jameson's office is demolished. But when the police arrive, Scorpion flees outside as the two fight on the rooftops. Spider-Man creates this whole issue is such one massive battle. I mean, it's a slugfest spectacular. And okay. Spider-Man creates bolas made out of his web to tangle Scorpion and swing Scorpion around the town and into the Hudson River. And here's from like a scene from the cover. As Scorpion splashes about, Spider-Man tangles him in a net of webbing, waiting for the police to pick him up. And voila. Once Spider-Man is finished, he returns to Daily Bugle as Peter Parker to check on Betty Brant. When he's told by Jameson that she was sent home, he calls her house and we see that Betty's on the couch getting rest from the fright fest that happened earlier. Even more concerning, Aunt May's in the kitchen, and she gets a dizzy spell and almost faints. And come on, Aunt May, come on, you stay off the booze already. And she okay, and there is some continuity. Oh, I like this. The Peter Parker is promoting T-shirts, his own T-shirt and a stationery set, and a great Fantastic Four cover there. The Scorpion vows revenge against Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson over his last defeat, which occurred in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20. Jameson and Foswell talk about a series of cat burglars involving scientific equipment. This is foreshadowing the events of Amazing Spider-Man number 30 and Amazing Spider-Man, through issue Amazing Spider-Man 33. The next issue is the cat burglar, which was revealed later on, many years hence, that is Felicia Hardy's dad, the Black Cat. And that's probably why it's up in value too. Peter discovers that Ned Leeds is back from his assignment in Europe. He left in Amazing Spider-Man 20. However, this is not his first day back, as his previously chronological appearance was in Marvel's issue 2. Like, come on. Where are we going to find that? The cause of Aunt May's dizzy spell is revealed in Amazing Spider-Man 32. And that's an issue I remember having. Steve Ditko is credited as the plotter for this issue. This issue contains... I don't care about that. Okay. All right, so put this issue away. Oh, look at that. Record Riot. 60 Smash songs for $2.98. All right. See, it's very crisp copy. I love it. I'm very proud to have this. It's according to my Hip Comics. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is my most expensive book right now. Those other two you see up here, this is where the website is all sorts of hair. Look at this. This is supposed to be my most expensive book right now. The Ellington Club #1. and at $1,288.89. Come on, give me a break. The second one. Now I was debating this. Someone says that, this might be on the mark because this has something to do with the Thunderbolts movie that's out right now. But I have to look carefully and see and reread that issue. I'm not certain that ever happened. Okay, let me put this thing down for a second. Put the book back in. Gotta be careful. I got, there's some sort of tutorial about how to bag and board comics properly. These guys right here, they really know their stuff here. They give you like two coverings here. All right, so that's that issue. Next issue I have, still with me, is Amazing Spider-Man 71. Now I bought 3 Amazing Spider-Man books from some dealer. I didn't catch his name, but they were reasonably priced. I paid $100 for this issue, and I think it's worth a lot more now. Let me get that out of here. Let me get the book out. And this, of course, features the landmark art of John Romita Jr. and Jim Mooney. These two worked great together. As Peter returns to his apartment and mulls over the fact that he's responsible for giving J. Jonah Jameson a good scare as Spider-Man, he almost blows his secret identity when Harry abruptly returns home. And there we go. You get Harry Osborn and Peter Parker used to be roommates before Norman Osborn went all this shit and turned into the Green Goblin. Before Harry Osborn lost his shit and became the Green Goblin, I should say. Meanwhile, having escaped the destruction of Magneto's fortress, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and the Toad debate on what to do now that they're outcast. Quicksilver believes that the Avengers will take them in and run to New York to find them. However, upon arriving at Avengers Mansion, he learns from Jarvis that they are on a away mission in Africa. Which I believe that's the story that introduced the Man-Ape. Debating on what to do next, Quicksilver learns that Spider-Man is considered a fugitive of the law. He decides to bring Spider-Man to justice, as it may be the only way to exonerate himself and his sister in the eyes of the world following their recent alliance with Magneto. Let's see. Coming up. Oh, yeah, this is great. This is a good scene. Later, Peter arrives at the Bugle and sells pictures of Spider-Man's battle with the Kingpin. There he finds that Joe Robinson has taken charge of the Bugle while Jonah is in the hospital. When Joe sees the photos that show that Spider-Man is trying to prevent the Kingpin from stealing the tablet, he demands the presses be stopped to send this out as an exclusive. Peter's also surprised with very generous payment for his photos. Now, I wonder if he got a paycheck as big as mine, adjusted for inflation. Peter then changes to Spider-Man and delivers the tablet to George Stacy. When Stacy tries to stop Spider-Man to talk to him, Spidey can't stop and leaves. On his way home, Spider-Man is also absorbed in how he's going to spend his money that he's taken by surprise when Quicksilver, unaware that Spider-Man has been cleared of any wrongdoing, attacks him. Spidey proves to be no match for Quicksilver's superior speed. As their battle rages on, the front page story about Spider-Man's innocence gets to Jameson, who freaks out. Back at the battle between Spider-Man and Quicksilver. Spider-Man finally gets his bearings and uses his spider sense and Quicksilver's arrogance to his advantage, and knocks the wind out of this speedster. Let me see there. Yeah, that's sort of what happens on the cover. And here we go, and boom! Just just put your arm out, and you're 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 just instantly out of breath. When the police close in and arrest both superhumans, Spider-Man lifts Quicksilver to safety. When Quicksilver revives, he realizes what Spider-Man did for him, and the two call a truce and they part as friends. And it's a good done one story. Yeah, there was a theme. Was trying to do a theme for week. I was trying to get books down in San Diego with Amazing Spider-Man team ups with lesser known heroes at the time. I like Quicksilver here. I tried to get one with the Black Widow and the one with Medusa. Medusa was issue 45. Black Widow was 87, and I couldn't find a good price on either of them, so I just had to settle for this. Plus, so I threw in the Amazing Spider-Man 29. There's a little loose staple there, but Quicksilver recounts how he and the Silver Witch and the Toad escaped the destruction of Magneto's fortress. That happened in Avengers number issue 53. Jarvis tells Quicksilver that the Avengers are in Africa. This story takes place during the events of Avengers issue 62. And certain elements in the story should be considered topical references per the sliding timescale of Earth 616, particularly the fact that Betty Brant uses a typewriter at her desk. Okay. Did they not use typewriters during that day? Hold on, I gotta type something in here. Pardon me. That reads it right. Okay, so I made, according to Hip Value, this book is now at 132.82. Although I wouldn't really exactly grade this an 8.5 because the staple problem there. It's barely holding on, so gotta take what you can get. So let me put this issue away. Move on to my last Wednesday's read. Here, let me set it up here. So this next one, I paid $125 for, and it is issue 92, When Iceman Attacks. And this issue is also written by Stan Lee, with artwork with Gil Kane and John Romita. Either or, it works. Jim Mooney, Gil Kane, working with John Romita it's just instant Marvel magic. And I'm happy with either. So when Iceman Attacks, Spider-Man has just been confronted by Sam Bullock and Gwen Stacy at Peter Parker's apartment. Spider-Man, hoping to talk sense into Gwen, grabs the girl and makes an exit. However, this is spotted by Bobby Drake, who was out on a date. He changes to Iceman, attacks Spider-Man, whom he thinks will harm the girl, forcing Spidey to make an escape. Bullock thanks Iceman for his help and asks him to track down and capture Spider-Man. Well, here's the one caveat to the story. Bobby Drake may appear that he likes to go on dates with those of the opposite sex, but it's revealed later that He's he's come out of the icebox closet, so to speak. I know it's a little frigid and cold, but there you have it. That's the times they are changing. So after continuing his Law and Order campaign to obtain the DA chair, Bullitt is contacted by J. Jonah Jameson, who tells him that he's dropping the Bugle's endorsement of him. When Bullitt and his goons show up at the Bugle, Jameson explains that he will no longer endorse a candidate with shady dealings, revealing that he knows all about how Bullitt and his men roughed up Peter Parker in the previous issue. To add to the damaging evidence against Bullitt, Joe Robinson has dug up Bullitt's background, which involves dealing with extremists in racist groups. Does that sort of remind you of a certain, U.S. poser president that's currently in office? When Bullitt and his men kidnap Joe, Peter Parker witnesses the whole event and goes after Bullitt as Spider-Man. He initially stopped by Iceman, but managed to convince him to help rescue Joe. The two heroes work in unison to free Joe, and the three of them confront Bullitt during one of his fundraising banquets. When the truth about Bullitt is revealed, the people in attendance at the banquet walk out on him, and Bullitt is arrested shortly after. See, if only that would happen to Donald Trump, aka Fuckface Felon 47. People just walk out on him, because the damage he's doing to this country is unfathomable. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a U.S. citizen. Because of his obscene rhetoric, especially against Hispanic people. It's just I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow when Cinco de Mayo rolls around. Will Tom Holman be celebrating by any chance? I think not. So it's a end of a two-parter. Nice ice slide, Bobby. Let's see, and that's what this issue is about. And I put that one to bed, and it's holding up very, very well. And what do I have? I have this at 119.02, so that's about evens out. Paid $125 for it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be right back. Got one more to do. That in there. Okay. And for last Thursday night's read, we have the following month's issue, number 93, and it's the return of Hobie Brown as the Prowler. Now, silly me, didn't realize I had already bought this issue previously from my Shrine days, I guess. It was going through old boxes. I found I had a double of this. Yeah, like my I have a doubles of a lot of stuff that I didn't realize I bought. Another one is the Avengers issue, I think issue 44, with the Swordman on the cover. I didn't realize I had a double of that. So here we go, the Lady and the Prowler. While dealing with the death of her father's... let me start again. While dealing with the grief of her father's death and Peter's son's strange behavior, Gwen gets a call from her uncle Arthur, offering her to come out to England to live with them, a decision she needs to think about. She goes to see Peter to ask if he wants her to stay. However, when she mentions her hatred of Spider-Man, it causes him to be reluctant to tell her to stay, and Gwen leaves Peter's apartment. Peter then storms off, loses his temper over how his alter ego constantly ruins his life. And there's a nice little smooch there from Peter to Gwen. I love Gwen Stacy. I dated this girl, Linda Freeman. I fell head over heels when I met this girl, Linda Freeman, in high school, whose daughter is somewhat an actress now, Danica Yarish. Anyway, Linda Freeman reminded me so much of Gwen Stacy that I just had to ask her out to see a Yes concert, and we end up going to three or I don't know, 4 or 5 concerts together. One being Alice Cooper, the other Genesis, and Moody Blues was another one. Okay, and David Bowie. There you go, all 5 of them. Elsewhere in the city, Hobie Brown reflected on how he recently helped Spider-Man out of a jam by impersonating Spider-Man in front of a group of people. He recalls seeing George Stacy in the audience and wonders his involvement that day made him a potential accomplice in the death of Stacy, then decides to bring Spider-Man to justice to clear his own conscience. And there we go. There's the scene where Hobie Brown had to imitate Spider-Man as a favor for helping him out in issues 79 to 80. And he had, there was just a secret identity crisis that Peter was going through. Anyway, Spider-Man, meanwhile, is blowing off steam by web slinging to determine what to do about Gwen. When he looks in on Gwen at her home, he's spotted and attacked by the Prowler. Their fight takes them across the city, where in the end is an elevator. Where they end up in an elevator shaft. The Prowler's knocked down the shaft, and Spider-Man manages to save him from serious injury with his webbing. And where is that scene? Well, here's the Prowler attacking. Gwen sees Spider-Man out her bedroom window, and I hate when they did this back in 1970 when they split the page, but it was useful when they reprinted in Marvel Tales, because then they just take the 2 halves and put them together as a 1 page, and it would make it an 18-page story rather than a 20. And there's the elevator shaft scene. And Prowler lands a good one across Spidey's chin. And that's where he realizes his claws aren't working properly, and there you go. He then strips off Hobie's costume, delivers him to a hospital, and calls Hobie's girlfriend Mindy when Spider-Man hears Mindy telling the unconscious Hobie that she will stick by him no matter what. He decides that in spite of everything, Spider-Man should reveal his true identity to the woman he loves. And swinging into Gwen's apartment, Spider-Man finds the landlady cleaning the place up. He learns from her that Gwen has left for the airport to go to England. After he scares the shit out of her. He learned from her that Gwen has left for the airport to go to England. Rushing there, Peter arrives moments too late to watch in agony as her plane takes off, realizing that his slow decision cost him the girl he loves. Peter leaves the airport. I wonder if they had the Airbus back then. When I go to JFK, I got to take the Airbus from the airport to take to the subway to get into Manhattan, and I wouldn't do that nowadays with all the craziness going on. Hopefully Curtis Wheeler will be elected mayor, and you can clean that crap up. Let's see, and there we go, a love affair left dangling, and another great Marvel book, Marvel Spider-Man issue put to rest. And that's it for this week. There's some continuity notes. Hobie Brown recalls how he was asked to impersonate Spider-Man. That happened in Amazing Spider-Man 87. Although Gwen leaves New York while still in mourning over his father's death, Gwen was also hiding the fact that she was pregnant after an affair with Norman Osborn circa Amazing Spider-Man 61. This was revealed in Amazing Spider-Man 509 through 514. What the hell? What the fresh hell? What? Gwen Stacy was bopping Norman Osborn? Oh my... Wait. I mean, I can imagine Norman Osborn going down on her while, Gwen Stacy grabbing that Brillo pad hair of his for dear life. Oh, God. Wow. I gotta... I'll look it up later. That's something I did not even know. But anyway, what do I got? How much is this issue going for? Okay, see, here's two of them I have. I have both rated 6.5, $58.88. $58.88. There you have it. Okay. Well, that's it for this week. I'm going to be doing a sort of Batman family related week next week. So tune in to then. Happy Free Comic Book Day. I hope you got all your favorite free comic books. And may all your free comic book day wishes come true. Bye.